it's Romy. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the December reading for Gemini. If your sun rising or your moon is in Gemini, this general reading may resonate for you. If it doesn't, check out your moon and your rising signs. If you'd like to support my channel, you can go ahead, drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed, and you can also purchase the extended reading if it resonates, and you'll find the link for that in the description box below, Gem. I'm also going to be posting out through the month of December your 2020 annual reading, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the notification for when that comes out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so you can see the cards that I'm pulling for you this month in a little bit more detail. Thanks, Romy. Hey Gemini, December 2019, last month of the year, last month of the decade, and the theme that's coming through for you is anything and everything is possible, which I like. So let's go ahead and see what's coming out for your first card for this month. Okay, King of Swords. So this could be you, Gemini, or another air sign, a Libra or Aquarian. But as we move into December, we do have this quite powerful masculine energy, right? We're in Sagittarius season. Both Sagittarius and Gemini, mutable sign. This is your polar opposite, and it really brings in this very yang masculine energy, air and fire. And for me, I do feel that you're going to enter into this month from quite a powerful position. It may be because you've had some kind of breakthrough, some sense of clarity. The new moon in Sagittarius on the 26th of November is a real powerhouse of kind of potent, vital, vibrant energy that's going to help almost like lift you up and out of yourself if there's been any kind of overthinking or kind of going round in circles. And I feel just get you back on track with something, remind you of what the bigger picture looks like, and just give you that strong vision of what's next, and then allow you to kind of harness that lovely mercurial energy that you possess to then deal with the details of the here and now and okay, how do I get there? So King of Swords comes through with this very clear, concise, directed, masculine energy for me. And I think that you are being encouraged to consider this as a month of limitless possibility. You know, King of Swords draws wisdom from his experience, and you know, there's not much that he hasn't seen or been through, or you know, there's not much that would really challenge him in a way that he isn't open-minded enough to kind of dig a little deeper and, you know, try to understand something. And it just feels like I've got this energy of just like wanting to understand the nuances, wanting to understand the patterns, wanting to understand here's how I got here. Of course, this is a really reflective month, right? December. We come to the end of a decade as well. So there is going to be this period of time when you're probably thinking back and, you know, considering all of the choices, all of the different scenarios that have brought you to this moment. And for me, there's this sense of you absolutely being ready to leave this decade behind, right? I feel that there is a sense for some of you of just having almost like a euphoric kind of liberated, powerful relief that you can already feel, even though we're not even at the end of this year. And remember, you're in all of this 8th house deep transformational energy with the Pluto and Saturn, you know, moving direct and coming up to that conjunction. In Sagittarius, right, it's your polar opposite sign. It's a sign of partnerships. And I think that there's also this sense of you coming to some really powerful conclusions about the way with which you are attracting or how these relationships are showing up in your world, right? Through this month of December is going to be a big focus on that. So how do you balance that? How can you take what you've learned about yourself and use it to improve the relationships that surround you? There's an opportunity for almost like a new beginning, a completely fresh start. But for me, this fresh start, not necessarily with another person, it's the fresh start with yourself to say, okay, here's the type of person I kept attracting, or you know, here's what keeps showing up in the relationship that I'm in over and over again, and I'm just ready for it to be different. I'm ready to experience a whole new set of energies and a whole new storyline for myself, and I'm ready to take that risk and be quite bold with it. We have Jupiter moving into Capricorn at the start of December. And, you know, Jupiter, this planet of growth and expansion and opportunity. And in Capricorn, it's saying, okay, you're going to make your own luck. You are going to persevere. You're going to do what it takes and you're going to make things happen. There's a sense of resiliency, of mastery, of perseverance that comes through. And, you know, Capricorn is in your 8th house. So it's a very transformational time. Also linking in very strongly to work. So all the way through 2020, there's also a bit of a note that comes in about, you know, huge changes in and around your financial situation, looking at, you know, shared money and resources, particularly, you know, for those of you in marriages, there's big shifts and changes happening for the positive in this area for many of you with that transit coming in. So we also have a full moon in Gemini coming up on the 12th. Very powerful month for you, Gems. Ace of Pentacles energy coming in. And I think that many of you will have moved through that Scorpio season that we had where we were in your 6th house of health and wellness and had some pretty powerful conclusions and revelations about what needed to change to balance up your energy physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And those adjustments that I feel some of you have already started to make will be paying dividends, because I get this burst of energy that comes through with the Fool and Ace of Pentacles. So your physical energy is going to improve through this month. You are making better choices. You are making more considered choices about what works for you and what feels right. And even though we come into this holiday time where it can get quite, you know, a time of excess, you know, in all manner of means, both emotionally and kind of being around people that are maybe more challenging, you know, from a kind of food and drink and partying and all these things that go on through the month of December, you feel quite rooted and anchored, and you feel quite determined in terms of like this sense of wellness and vitality. I also think for some of you, there's this real inspiration that's coming through. We've got this beautiful creative air energy. We've got that King of Swords being real clear-minded about what he wants and why, and prepared to take quite a bold risk and move forward with that full energy. Ace of Pentacles is that raw potential, but it's here. So there's something coming up through this month of December for you, Gemini, that's really going to play out in quite an exciting way as we move into 2020, I feel. So don't feel you have to rush anything, but at the same time, in a month where we can often want to slow down and wrap things up, if you have a sense that you want to power forward, just run with that. Tune into your own personal individual energy. That full moon in Gemini is helping you to balance out your twins, come into harmony with yourself. It's also shining a real light on relationships in your life, right? There's a triple conjunction with Pluto, Saturn and Venus. Very powerful kind of tipping point where I think you will get a lot of answers that you've been seeking. There's likely to be the opportunity for some of you to have more meaningful, emotional discussions about what the future looks like. I think for those of you who are looking to meet someone, there's the opportunity to bring in somebody who represents, I feel, something quite different than perhaps you've encountered before on an energy and a vibrational level. It feels very new. It feels very next level. So it's almost challenging you, and that's what the polar opposite energy does, right? It challenges us to step outside of our comfort zone. It's stretching us. We talked about this limitless possibility. Could be a water sign energy is also around at the moment, a Cancerian, Pisces or Scorpio that's in the mix right now. But I certainly feel through this month of December, you're going to be having meaningful conversations. There's definitely the opportunity for a new beginning, a new start, or a fresh direction. A fresh approach is what's needed. And King of Swords is kind of anchoring and holding that space, I feel, for you to be able to do that and to stay true to yourself, which I think is going to be really important. So 10 of Wands at the center of your reading is just a reminder that actually don't say yes when you want to say no, okay? Just take a beat, take a moment and step back and really assess if you are taking on one too many things, or if you're setting yourself up in a position or a situation that you're not quite ready for. The thing with the 10 of Wands though is, you know, he does have purpose. There's a reason why he's working so hard or he's taking on so much. I think the real question that you have to ask yourself, Gemini, through this month of December is, why am I doing it? And if your why is clear enough and it really matches what that bigger vision is, you know, which is what Sagittarius is going to help to highlight to you again, then that's okay. This is then just about how do you make sure that you're balancing yourself so you're not gonna you're not gonna burn out, you're not gonna run out of energy. But if that why isn't clear to you, if that's still a little hazy, or you're moving in the direction that doesn't feel good, then this is gonna feel so much more heavy and weighty and burdensome than it needs to be. Okay, so I think that that's a sort of cautionary, just check in with yourself and make sure you're, I guess, like revisiting some of those new moon intentions that you had around Scorpio season that said, okay, what are the new ways of being that I need to put in place to feel better about my life in all aspects. And I know, you know, it's a month where it can be a lot more challenging to stick to rituals and routines when things are so chaotic and frenetic. But remember, you have this Ace of Pentacles energy that's just helping bring that extra boost of vital energy through for you. And I think that fire from Sagittarius, and especially in that new moon at the end of December, is going to help bring that in for you. So we have Ace of Swords energy coming through, and I you know, for me this really is about truthful conversations taking place, both with yourself and other people. And the thing that comes up with this again for me is, actually you've got two aces here, it's beautiful energies coming through. So the thing that comes up for me with this is that if we are approaching December as a month of limitless potential, anything and everything is possible here, right? Then I want to explore with that energy what part of your story doesn't believe that to be true. Because in so many instances, there are parts of your world where you're holding yourself back. So if it's the relationship that you're wanting, if it's your work or business or project to realize or manifest something for you, if it's a family situation, a house move, starting a family, getting married, doesn't matter what it is. For me, you're being really called to assess what the block is, what the resistance is, and be really truthful. And remember, all that 8th house activity, and as we move into Capricorn season, that's what, you know, we're going to be unearthing, because there's this moment of absolute liberation and clarity that I feel comes in December in a super powerful way that's going to show you, where am I martyring myself to a cause that doesn't even need to be in existence anymore, that I've fully left behind, and it is part of an old you know, an old version of me. Because I want you poised, that full energy, and ready to receive this month. That's what's coming through in this ready. You need to be poised and ready to receive. 10 of Wands energy is not ready to receive. He's saying, literally, I can't hold anything else here. One more thing and that's going to break the camel's back, the straw that broke the camel's back. So this is the cautionary note. So where we're truthful with ourselves and saying, actually, you know, is my why lining up with why I'm taking all this on? But also, what am I using in my own mind to hold myself back? And in that moment of clarity, with that full moon energy in your sign, here's where I think you're going to get the real breakthrough, especially in relationships for so many of you, because that's going to be such a big focus in December. Venus moving into Aquarius on the 20th, which is 9th house for you. So for many of you, you could be meeting people from overseas, or there could be some kind of long distance relationship going on if you're meeting somebody new. But it's also about the way that you are looking to learn. You know, there's this beautiful sort of sense of higher learning that comes in Sagittarius season as well, that is also kind of helping you to really want to do the work and have that aspect of growth within yourself and the relationship. But Venus in Aquarius is quirky, you know, it's a kind of flirty, like light air energy that you are very at home at. And maybe for some of you, there's going to be more choices or potential that reveal themselves through that month of December. Seven of Cups energy for me is coming in because I do feel that there are going to be instances through this month of December for you, Gemini, where you're really going to wonder, where should I be directing my focus? Maybe it's like you feel really pulled to kind of keep working and keep creating, and you don't want to lose momentum on something, but then all of a sudden there's this like deeper emotional kind of sensitive pull that says, actually I just want to either meet someone or to be around my partner or to be with the family. And so I feel like that, you know, there are these kind of options, and you know, maybe that's a bit of the Ten of Wands energy coming in as well, where you just feel like a little bit split in your energy around where do I focus myself. Just remember, you are one of those signs that, you know, when you have the capacity to be able to multitask mentally in a way that many of the other signs find more challenging. And so for me, Seven of Cups energy for a Gemini is very different to what it would be for an Earth sign, for example. So you have these like limitless choices, right? And remember, when we're talking about limitless possibilities, that's exactly what I want to see coming up, Seven of Cups. You can oscillate between all of these different options and possibilities without actually becoming drained. And in some ways it can inspire you and sort of help you feel more enthused about the way forward if you allow it to be received in that way, rather than seeing it as a burden, and sort of that you are tasked with kind of having to come to a conclusion or having to keep other people happy. Seven of Cups is also asking you to dream a little bigger and to move into that kind of slight fantasy type realm where your manifesting abilities, your creative vision for the future is swirling around you in a playful way. You know, there's a really playful quality that comes in with the Fool energy. The Page of Cups is coming in this lovely naive expression of like being passionate about something and curious and open and intuitive. And you know, that Seven of Cups is saying, look at everything that is possible here. So don't become too fixed on what's right in front of you. Maybe the reality isn't matching up to what you want it to be just yet, but what's on the horizon is looking really sweet, Gemini. What do we have coming in? Wheel of Fortune. Perfect. So we talk about this being a real month of synchronicity. At the end of the month, on the 26th of December, is a new moon in Capricorn. It's a solar eclipse, and a beautiful, beautiful alignment of energies taking place that are going to bring such an interesting twist at the final chapter of 2019 that you need to be poised and ready to receive it, not with your head down, okay? So a lot of unexpected, fairly, I'm going to say, destined energies that are going to perhaps shake everything up a bit for you, Gemini. So even where you've got this vision of where you think you're going or who you think you're going to be with, right at that 11th hour, something is coming in and asking you to move, and to move quickly. So some of you might find that you're making decisions like really late in the day, even over the holiday season, that are, you know, not really a time when you would be necessarily as mentally focused or as sharp. but all of a sudden like you're having to think about things in a different way because an opportunity has presented itself and you have to seize it. You know, there's such dynamic, vibrant, moving energy, you know, that's coming through in this reading that I feel quite excited about it. I've got a lot of butterflies coming up through my solar plexus. So whatever it is that's on the horizon here, you should feel enthused about. This could also be a cardinal energy coming in, or perhaps a Cancerian that you're dealing with. It could be a water sign that's coming through unexpectedly, delivering some sort of news. Some kind of revelation that may well happen through that full moon time or under that solar eclipse. Solar eclipse energy definitely brings that bolt out of the blue. So yeah, it could well be a Cancerian that's coming fast, like moving towards you around that period of time, Gemini. Okay, let's go ahead and see what the oracle cards are reflecting for your reading. Okay, first card out, attraction. So just what we talked about, really powerful, potent time of the year for manifesting. So if you are looking to be with that certain person over the holidays, if you are wanting that once in a lifetime opportunity to land in front of you, if you want to meet the love of your life, if you are looking for that amazing cause for celebration, this month has it written all over it if you can focus and allow yourself to believe and remember what we talked about, just letting go of any old stories that would take you away from that sense of trust that there is a higher divine blueprint and a destiny that's in place for you that can deliver everything that you want, if you surrender to the process and keep yourself vibrationally aligned to the vision of what it is that you want to bring in. So beautiful energy to come through, where I feel like you're also receiving some rewards, Gemini. You know, I think this is a month of the year where for many of you, you will get some validation for a lot of the more arduous challenges that have been placed on your path in 2019. And it might not all come together right through this month with those aces, but what's on its way? Abundance. Beautiful. Not only abundance from a financial perspective, for me this is abundance of love, of energy, of vitality, of joy, of creativity, of passion, of opportunity. It's like, you name it. What's your focus? Like, what do you want to bring in? It's on its way. It's coming in. Remember, limitless possibility. Anything and everything is possible. That is your mantra for this month, Gemini. Beautiful energies. Okay, let's have a look at the moon card, see what that is bringing up. Adjustments are required. Okay, so for me, this is kind of linking in with that 10 of Wands card and just saying, do you know what? You are poised and ready for so much excitement and change and good stuff to come into your world. What is it that you need to do to make space for it? Do you need to make space in your mind by changing your thought process? Do you need to make space in your heart to be able to receive it? Do you need to make space in your home to create a sacred space and energy that is, you know, set up to be able to support you in this new frequency, in this new pathway? So think about through this month where you're getting those little signs, where you're getting that trigger, those little intuitive nudges that are reminding you what it is that you need to do and why. Because for me, that is all about that 10 of Wands energy. And he sits right in the center of that reading, not as the damp squib on the proceedings where everything else for me is really illuminated and vital, but I think as a really powerful, loving reminder that you need to make sure that the direction that you're heading and the people that you're surrounding yourself with and what it is that you want, you really understand the value of it to you, what it means moving forward. And if you are looking ahead over the next 5 years, the next 10 years, because we have this move into a new decade, you know, is this what you want around you? So you are, you know, you're thinking about that short-term and that long-term vision. Remember the polar sign of Sagittarius, that mutable energy, that's what it's going to help you consider. It's like, what's the big vision what's my purpose, and then what are the ideas and the values that I have attached to that, and then how am I going to make it happen. Capricorn's that energy, that lovely vehicle of helping you to do the work and be disciplined and be clear-minded and concise about it. I feel really excited about what's shown up here for you for this month of December, Gemini. I think that those of you are looking for that insight around relationships. I have this sense of the clarity and the truth coming to the surface. Let the other person come to you. Let them present what their vision of the future looks like. And then you take an assessment of whether that matches up what you're looking for. But for me, this is a vibrational reading of you setting out your store and letting all of those beautiful laws of the universe do so much of the hard work for you. You know, you don't have to apply yourself in that physical action orientated way anymore. You're moving into a new time and space frequency. This is about you acknowledging that if I do the energy work, this is going to help bring things into my realm in a way that is much more easy and in flow, but also more powerful. And it's going to help me to harness and move quickly when I need to seize those new opportunities. I hope that's given you some insight and clarity, Gemini. If you've enjoyed the reading, please drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And also stay tuned, because December I will be posting out your 2020 annual reading. If you'd like to join me for the extended, I'm going to go ahead and pull some clarifying cards right now, and we'll see what else we can unearth around this month of December for you. So clarifying the King of Swords is the King of Cups. Could be a water sign energy here. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Perhaps from a work perspective or a personal relationship that you might be dealing with this individual. Another Ace of Swords coming through. So there's definitely some communication and conversation that's going to be taking place that's going to be really important. Paving the way, carving the way to something new. You have Seven of Cups coming in again with the Fool energy. Interesting. Okay, we also have Eight of Pentacles energy coming in with the Ace there. I really like this for those of you that have got focus around what you're doing in a work environment or with your career. Changes are afoot. There's a sense of mastery and, you know, hard work involved, but actually, is it going to be worth it? Oh, yes. Okay, Eight of Swords energy with that Page of Cups. Interesting person in the background here, so we'll go into a bit more detail about who that is and why they're causing this stress. Okay, Full energy again. So second time it showed up here. Sense of liberation and freedom that you're looking for. Okay, Seven of Pentacles energy with that Ten of Wands. Again, it's that, you know, sense of responsibility, assessment. Justice card. Okay, could be a Libra energy that's also involved here. But also I feel right in the center of your reading with the full moon in Gemini this month, this is also about the balance, right? Ten of Wands is out of balance. He's out of kilter. He's got too much on his shoulders. The Seven of Pentacles is that period of assessment and time where you're considering what needs to stay, what needs to go, what's going to bear fruit for me. Okay, Ace of Swords is bringing in Three of Swords. There's definitely some truth-telling needs to come to the surface, but it's going to bring clarity. We have the Chariot energy again, right above the Chariot here. Is this a Cancer you're dealing with that water sign? I think for some of you there's definitely something going on with the Cancerian that feels important. Okay, Seven of Cups is bringing in Temperance, which could be a Sagittarius energy that you're dealing with. But again, we're talking about the sense of moderation and harmony. Making our outer world reflect our inner world, or vice versa. Get our inner world right so it can reflect what we want to see on our outer world. Okay, Five of Swords energy. Let's look at this Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. Definitely an offer, invitation, or something coming in out the blue for you, Gemini. We'll look into that a little bit more. Coming in with 6 of Pentacles as well. Okay, interesting. Completion. Coming, but some stress and anxiety attached to it with that 9. Okay, Knight of Wands. Someone's coming charging in toward the end of this month for you, Gemini. They're making a beeline for you. That's what I've just been given. The World. Okay, this could be something overseas. Could be an overseas link, or certainly travel for some of you taking place. If you do have travel planned for that period of time, I think this is going to be a really interesting time of expansion where you take stock and make some major decisions. Yeah, 2 of Wands. Abundance is bringing in the Lovers. Your card, Gemini, I love that for you actually. That's perfect. Perfect. Okay, and 9 of Cups as well with adjustments. Right, I'm going to go into this in a lot more detail if you want to join me for the extended. Thank you so much. I wish you a beautiful month of December. I really appreciate your support of the channel, and I'll touch base with you in the extended if you're joining me there. Thank you.